Today we are going to do a project that is all about rainforest frogs. For this project, you'll just need a couple sheets of colored paper, which you can of course use white paper as well, maybe some sort of drawing tool. I'll be using oil pastels today, but you can use crayons or markers or something else, depending on if it will show up over your paper. And then a scissors, because we're going to do this in 2 steps. So we'll be making our frog kind of peeking over a little leaf first, and in the background, we'll cut out that first part and put the background onto a new colored sheet of paper. So it'll be a fun way for us to collage some parts together, as well as drawing and practicing making something look like it's peeking up over a little leaf. So I'm excited for you to join me. Today we will of course start with our mantra so we can begin and be super strong and ready for art. Here we go. My mantra: I am positive, I am creative, I am mindful, I am amazing, I am an artist. Okay, let's get started on making our super awesome rainforest frog. For the beginning part of our frog, we only need to draw on the green paper. So I'm going to set my purple paper to the side, and we're just going to get our drawing done so that we feel good about the way that our frog looks. Remember, you can start with pencil, you could start with Sharpie right away, but if you start with Sharpie, then you'll know that if you make a mistake, you'll need to turn it into a problem-solving experience. So I'm going to begin with pencil since I'll need to do a little bit of erasing. The first thing we're going to do is to draw the little edge of the leaf that comes kind of into our paper. So my frog's going to be up here and my leaf is going to be peeking into my paper. I'm going to make my frog huge, so he's got this big, huge, wide face, kind of like a sideways, what shape is that? An oval. And then I'm going to pop on the eyes of my frog to the side. So now I need to erase a little part of this, and I have a bigger eraser here. So I'm going to erase part of where the eye is going to pop out, erase this part too. And then I'm going to add the eyes of my frog. So for this one, I'm going to have a big, huge circle popping into my page. And then I'm even going to make a little bit of an eyelid kind of coming down like this. Okay. Then I'll do a frog's eye, which usually goes kind of sideways or the tall way, sort of like a football or a leaf shape. So I'm going to draw that eye nice and tall and skinny there. You can then do things like the little frog's kind of nostrils and a big, huge, wide smile. So I'm going to go down like this and give him a little smile at the end. Like that. Of course, I always use my sound effects because you know that helps everything. And you can do some other details like adding little spots on your frog so that he's got kind of a speckled little forehead. And his head will be completed and traced at the end too. Now I'm going to make it look like he's kind of peeking over this little leaf. So for that, again, we're going to do one more big erase step right here where his little hand is going to be, and another erase there. And I'm going to do a kind of an upside down or more of like a rainbow line like this. Rainbow line here on this side, and a rainbow line here on this side, and then 2 smaller rainbow lines in between. 1, 2, and again on this side, 1, 2. And then I'm going to make a circle for the little sticky fingerprints of our frog at the very end of each finger. So it goes like this, 1, 2, 3, and then over here, 1, 2, oh, that's a big one, 3, just like that. Then I need to connect the part where the hands aren't just floating on their own, so I'm just going to do a little kind of line like this, and I'm good to go. Now you can add details like maybe some veins or some extra smaller lines for the leaf of where your frog is peeking over. And you can even do some things like maybe add a tiny little frog on its head, give it a little bow. Does it have some spots on its hands? It's your turn as the artist to turn your frog into something amazing. So now that I've drawn my frog, I'm going to trace over the top with Sharpie and erase to make sure that it is crispy clean and my very best work. When I was tracing with Sharpie, I colored in the pupils of the frog's eyes and left a little bit of space here for kind of a highlight so it looks like it's got a little shine to my frog's eyes. The next step is, of course, to color. So remember, you can use any coloring tools that you'd like. I'm going to stick with oil pastels because I like how bright they show up over colored paper. But again, be that problem solver and see what is around you in order to color in your rainforest frog. super cool blue frog is just about done. I also like to use the black oil pastel to outline spaces that I had my Sharpie before too, because I feel like it gives it a nice, really bold, bright outline edge. You of course do not have to do this, but if you think it makes it a little bit easier to see, I call it a crispy edge, then you might want to try doing just a little bit of an outline at the very end. As always, you could finish your project just like this, and your frog could be totally complete. But I always like to cut around the outside of mine so that it really pops off onto another sheet of paper. So I'm just gonna trim this little edge right here so it's super crispy, and then just use a glue stick to attach it to my new background paper. You can also use that paper to decorate, maybe add a pattern, maybe add some little bugs or something around the outside, and then do a few more little finishing touches to your final project. So now I'm going to cut and attach. There you have it, friends, the most adorable little rainforest frog. I added some extra little vines in the back and some other little details, but of course, your creativity can shine through in the way that you make your art. We're going to end with a little bit of motivation today, keeping that kind of calm breath to help us focus ourselves for the rest of the day. So again, one hand right on your chest, one hand on your belly, and we're gonna work on moving that belly out and in like a big, huge bullfrog. So try to make your belly as big as possible and keep your chest nice and tight so that you're not breathing just from your shallow lungs here, but instead out like a big bullfrog. Okay, so let's do 3 deep breaths. Here we go, like a bullfrog. That's it. Sometimes we just need to use that breath to calm ourselves and really think about how we can mindfully be the very best version of us for the rest of the day. Remember, you are amazing, you are strong, you are resilient, and I love you. We will see you next time.